The Lovely Miss Mercer, written by Heidi Lauren Duke. Exterior, backyard, day, 1947. Two women sit on white wicker chairs in perfect posture. They both wear prim dresses, hosiery, and pumps. The setting sun streams through autumn oak leaves. Lucy Mercer, 56, her beauty radiating through gray pin curls, breathes in the summer air from her lawn chair. Next to her is Violetta Mercer, 58. Her makeup a little severe, holds the breezy air tight in her chest. She glances at Lucy.
What was your secret?
Lucy stares ahead. She turns her head to the camera.
My sister, Violetta. She wants to know how I had more than my share of life.
Lucy and Violetta squint out at late-day sun.
What did I create something from nothing?
Violetta spins her wedding ring around her manicured finger. Lucy smiles and pats her sister on the thigh.
I wish I could tell her. It's one of the few secrets I have left.
Exterior, Washington, D.C. Street, day, 1914. Honk honk. Model T automobiles careen around DuPont Circle. Lucy Mercer, 23, Gibson girl in a long skirt, hair piled into a flowered hat, heads down the street with purpose. A blue velvet ribbon is tied around her neck. She turns under a sign marked Connecticut Avenue. She practices her lines in a clipped, cultivated voice.
Good morning, Mrs. Roosevelt. Good morning, Mr. Roosevelt.
A suffragette, 29, wearing a black coat and a stern look, shoves a green leaflet in Lucy's face. Lucy takes it, reads.
We demand the vote for women. Women's suffrage is becoming fashionable.
She shoves the leaflet in her purse. She passes stately homes.
I personally am in favor of the vote for women. Surely it would mean the end to war. What wife or mother would vote to send their men off to die? That wouldn't be fashionable.
She turns under a sign marked N Street.
But I can't be bothered with politics right now. I need a job.
She bites her lip, checks the card in her hand, keeps moving.
My sister and I had our time as coddled debutantes, but since the crash of '98, we've had to work for a living.
She stops in front of a white townhouse, looks at her card.
And please understand, I'm happy to work. My mind spins constantly. I only need to convince my old neighbor Eleanor that I'm up to the task.
She climbs the steps slowly, catches her breath.
My family may have left me with nothing,
but that's all right. Maybe with Eleanor's help, I can find a new one.
Her hand hovers at the door. She knocks. Exterior, Roosevelt Townhouse, day. A maid, 49, white apron over gray wool, opens the door.
Yes.
Miss Lucy Page Mercer to see Mrs. Roosevelt.
Interior, Roosevelt Townhouse, day. Coats and hats weigh down a walnut hall stand. Boots, children's shoes, and a golf bag clog the hallway. The maid takes Lucy's coat, leads her to a doorway.
Miss Lucy Mercer, ma'am.
Eleanor Roosevelt, 33, a pile of fluffy hair crowning her slim, corseted frame, offers a toothy smile from behind a desk.
Miss Mercer, I am so glad you could come.
She shakes Lucy's hand in the doorway. They stand eye to eye.
She's tall, like me. That's a relief. She wouldn't want to look up to her social secretary.
Eleanor motions to a tea table and chairs.
Would you care for tea?
Interior, Roosevelt Townhouse, later. Eleanor and Lucy drink tea.
What a lovely house you have. I used to live in one just a few doors away.
Eleanor gives a stiff smile, looks around.
Yes, well, it belonged to my aunt, who let Theodore use it as his little white house while Mrs. McKinley was still getting over the shock.
Oh, yes, of course.
When Franklin became Assistant Secretary of the Navy, my aunt rented it to me. She speaks highly of you.
Lucy and Eleanor sip their tea.
How kind of you to say. I know what you're thinking. This is the kind of woman whose trust I must earn.
I really have no need for a social secretary. A wife ought to be able to do whatever necessary to help further her husband's career.
Yes, of course. I must get this position. Should I beg?
But it's surprisingly dull. Some days I wish I were back at Rivington Street Settlement, helping all those poor young women.
She would love it if I begged.